Join me as I dive into the mind-bending idea of collective consciousness and see if I can uncover how it really shapes our world. The concept of collective consciousness is fascinating, and it begs the question, can our shared thoughts, emotions, and experiences actually influence societal norms and behaviors? It's an idea that's both intriguing and unsettling, and it's exactly what we're going to explore today. Understanding how collective consciousness can impact individual actions and societal trends is a complex challenge. For one, it's difficult to quantify and measure something that's inherently abstract and intangible. We can't simply point to a specific statistic or data point and say, that's collective consciousness at work. It's more of a feeling, a vibe, a sense that something is shifting or evolving. But despite the challenges, it's essential that we try to understand it, because the implications are enormous. If our collective consciousness can indeed shape our world, then what does that mean for our sense of personal autonomy and free will? Do we have more control over our thoughts and actions than we think, or are we simply swept up in a tide of collective thought patterns and emotional currents? These are the kinds of questions that can keep you up at night, and they're precisely what we need to grapple with. One of the biggest obstacles to understanding collective consciousness is that it's often invisible, working beneath the surface of our everyday lives. We might not even realize when we're being influenced by it, or when we're contributing to its power. It's like trying to describe the air we breathe. It's always there, but we don't notice it until something goes wrong. As we delve deeper into this topic, we'll see that collective consciousness is not just some esoteric concept, but a very real force that has shaped human history. From the rise of social justice movements to the emergence of new cultural trends, collective consciousness has played a significant role in guiding major societal changes. Throughout history, we've seen how collective consciousness has driven societal transformations. Think about the civil rights movement in the 1960s, or the feminist movement in the 1970s. These weren't just isolated events, but rather the culmination of collective thoughts, emotions, and experiences that had been building for years. And in many cases, it was the collective consciousness that ultimately tipped the scales and brought about change. In psychology, we've also seen the power of collective consciousness in action. Research has shown that when people come together around a shared goal or idea, their individual thoughts and behaviors can become synchronized, creating a kind of collective momentum that's hard to stop. This is known as entrainment, and it's a phenomenon that's been observed in everything from sports teams to social media campaigns. One of the most compelling examples of collective consciousness in action is the story of the Berlin Wall effect. In the years leading up to the fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989, there was a growing sense among East Germans that the status quo was no longer acceptable. This collective sense of discontent ultimately culminated in mass protests and demands for reform, which eventually led to the wall's demise. It was a powerful demonstration of how collective consciousness can shape our world, often in ways that are both unexpected and profound. Fast forward to the present day, and we can see the power of collective consciousness in everything from social media hashtags to global environmental movements. It's a force that's constantly evolving, often in response to changing circumstances and emerging trends. And yet, despite its ubiquity, collective consciousness remains a mysterious and poorly understood phenomenon. One of the most compelling insights into the power of collective consciousness comes from the work of psychologist and philosopher Ervin Laszlo. According to Laszlo, collective consciousness is not just a product of individual thoughts and emotions, but a fundamental aspect of the universe itself. It's a kind of quantum field that underlies all of human experience, shaping our perceptions and influencing our behaviors in ways both subtle and profound. In conclusion, the influence of collective consciousness on our world is undeniable. From shaping societal norms and behaviors to guiding major societal changes, it's a force that's both fascinating and unsettling. As we move forward in an increasingly complex and interconnected world, it's essential that we understand the power of collective consciousness and learn to harness it for the greater good. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to share your thoughts on collective consciousness in the comments below. If you like this video, be sure to check out our next one, where we explore the power of belief systems in shaping our reality.